All right, Shalom. We'll start first by giving all praises and glories unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Greetings, salutations, and blessings unto the house of David, the elect, those that will be chosen for salvation and the destruction to come. Shalom. We got a little lesson here. Basically, is GMS Abad, Sin City, Las Vegas. And we're out here, and the Spirit had put on us to do this video. Basically about the word subservient, you know, about being subservient. And being subservient, when we get into the definition of it, you're subservient through faith, you know. So it's time to be more subservient unto the righteous men that are out there. And it starts at Great Millstone, where 100% truth is at. I mean, it's just the truth, man. Great Millstone got the truth, man. That's just the bottom line. Whether you like it or not, we're the ones that got it. So if you're not aligning your doctrine and your faith according to that, hey, man, and good luck to you, you know. But we're just going to kind of go into a few words, hit a few scripts, and then we're going to close out. So,
and if I may say this, and first and foremost, being subservient starts with obeying the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and what he tells us to do.
Good point.
All right? You're supposed to know how to humble yourself to his oracles, which is his order, his instructions.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahweh Shai laid the blueprint for that. He came down to serve his Father. So in turn, us being under Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai is our head, we're to serve him. And if Yahweh Shai set up men on the earth to establish his church, all right, they said in his stead, then we're to be subservient to those men that he set up, as if we're being subservient to Yahweh Shai. Because the Lord basically trusts those men with the authority of his church.
That's right.
All right? And that's what the apostles back then, you know, starting with the head of Apostle Peter, you know, you had the other apostles, you know, and then you had Apostle Paul, who was not of the 12, but he was an apostle to the Gentiles, the uncircumcision. Yep. And even within the apostleship of the circumcision, there was rank and there was order.
That's right.
Timothy, they were subservient to the orders of Apostle Paul.
Right.
Titus, he was subservient to the orders of Apostle Paul.
Who was Paul subservient unto? The heads. He was still subservient to the main church.
Yeah.
To Peter and those men over there, the 12, and they under Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
You know, so it ain't like the whole Sakari situation where he's still man of the Lord, but he over there pushing. He got his own thing. No, it's all under the same thing, just a different office, a different job. Mm-hmm. You know, he was put in that position for the Gentiles for purposes that us regular men, you know, don't have full understanding about what we do, because that was his office for what he was doing in the church, and plus he knew that much, you know. And then Peter, he knew what he had, a position that he had to have, you know. But there was complete order, and they were all subservient to it. The altercation they had wasn't about who was the head. That wasn't what that was about. That was about where they was going to go and who they was going to bring with them. It was mainly about, was it Barnabas that was with him?
No. When Peter and Paul had that dissension, it was because of Apostle Peter. He was apostle to the circumcision, but when he was around the circumcision, he would act a certain way. But then when men of the circumcision, when they would see him,
you mean the uncircumcision before? No.
He was the apostle of the circumcision.
Right.
Apostle Paul was to. Peter was of apostle to the circumcision. Apostle Paul was to those of the uncircumcision. Right. But when Peter was around those of the uncircumcision, he would act a certain way, but he would withdraw himself from acting that same way when somebody of the circumcision saw him.
Right.
And that's what Apostle Paul had an issue with.
He was being two-faced.
Yeah, he felt like he was kind of being hypocritical.
Right.
You know, but he was still, you know, he still acknowledged Apostle Peter as his head.
Right.
You know, we all are men at the end of the day.
Yep.
But he still sought counsel from Peter when the counsel about circumcision went down. He went straight to the pillars.
Yep.
You know, showing you that there was still order. So he was still being subservient.
Yep.
You know, without questions, man. He obeyed the orders that came down from the top, and that's how we all supposed to deal. You know.
Do you know how to make this a little bit bigger?
Let me see if I
I
can.
think you can zoom somehow, right click or something. Because we're going to get the definition. We want it to be, you know, like one more maybe. We're going to get the definition because this word is huge. And it takes faith. And with the things that are coming, you got to really believe, man. You got to, like, it can't be doubt. Like, I don't have any doubt about the apostles and the doctrine of the apostles. I have no doubt about that. So I can unquestionably obey. And if something I'm not on the fence about, I'm unsure about, they have the door open for especially for Great Millstone members that you can get the answer. There's usually a head brother around you that has the answer. If not, you can go all the way up to the top. Mm-hmm. You know, but up to where the answers are at. Yeah. You know, and if that don't make sense, that there's a hole in that. Okay, well, let's keep going up, and that's the openness of great masters, of them doing the right things for us, feeding us properly. You know, so I'll read it. Subservient. It says, prepared to obey others unquestioningly. You have to have that, and like the brother said, the first thing you have to submit to or be prepared to obey is the word. Matter of fact, let's get Isaiah right quick, though. Isaiah 20, is it 9 or 28? I think 28. 28. This is why sometimes I don't write it down, because it moves. But Isaiah 28, and start at verse 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. Yeah, when you have to already have a subservient and a humble mind. Matter of fact, that's that's newborn babes, right?
Yeah, Peter.
Yeah, let me go right there.
Peter 2, I think.
1 Peter 2, because I'll just read it. It says, 1 Peter chapter 2. Matter of fact, I'll start at 1. It says, wherefore laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings, as newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. If so be ye have tasted the Lord is gracious. Yeah. So he's looking for that unquestioned faith, show of faith. He's looking for that. That's what the Most High is looking for. That we're going to obey him unquestioningly. You know, but we got to come in this thing prepared to obey unquestioningly. Not to the men, but to the doctrine. That's why the men at Great Millstone, I have that reverence and respect for those men, and I obey them unquestioningly, because I look at the doctrine and they're about the doctrine. It ain't about the men, it's about the doctrine that the men have. I believe that this doctrine to be of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, because there's no holes in it. Name a hole in it. I'm talking about of a breakdown that any of the apostles have put out.
Yeah, they will suppose that there's holes in it, you know, based off their disbelief, right? You know, because they don't have faith.
They don't have the understanding to see it.
They'll lean upon their own understanding, and just by doing that,
other men, not the apostles, but other men.
Other men, there's holes in the doctrine because the Lord blinded them that they can't see that it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Like rape, like the whole rape thing, which is a big deal, right? Rape is such a big deal. It is a big deal. So why would we have rules to govern that big deal? Because is it unreasonable that the act can happen? No, it's not unreasonable that the act happened in ancient times or it could happen in today's times. Just because a woman would yell rape don't mean they gonna stop. That ain't, especially with the lawlessness that's coming to America, to certain parts of the world. It's gonna be rape, and we have to be able to understand and govern it properly. You know?
but we had a certain way of how we dealt with it in the law. I mean, in today's time, men are just take it.
It's not about us committing the act. Is when somebody presents the act, somebody that has committed the act before us, we have to know how to judge that matter.
Yeah,
and it don't, and every time it don't automatically mean death. Because if she was unbetrothed, hey, then you got to keep her. But if she was, so you committed adultery and rape. Okay, so now we got to do this.
Yeah,
there's rules. We don't be mad that we know the rules. So how better to judge a situation? Like, believe me, I ain't ever had to take it from no woman. Most of us are mentally strong enough where we don't have to take it. And rulers of our flesh, we don't have to take from a woman. We don't have to. And when the day comes when rape is really going to be out there, we ain't going to have to take it. They're going to offer themselves for it. So just like they have to be, you want your woman completely humble, the Most High wants his woman completely humble, to obey unquestioningly. One thing you hate is for a woman to say, but I think when you told her something to do that you already know is right. So that trickles down into the society. And I'll just quote it without getting 1 Corinthians. The order, says, obey me as I obey Yahweh Shai. Be ye followers of me as I am a follower of Yahweh Shai, and obey these, just say obey, or keep these orders. I got to get it now. It's a lot. It's always best to just grab it. I'm trying to hit a few of them, then we can, really get all the way into this word. 1 Corinthians 11:1 said, be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Yahweh Shai. So it says follow Paul or the heads as you would follow Yahweh Shai. You wouldn't question Yahweh Shai, would you? If you knew that was the Lord, would you really question him? Would you call him a motherfucker, right?
Right.
Would you really do that? That's not being subservient. None of these men are the ones that taught you. Anyway, it says, now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I delivered them unto you, the order. Basically, be subservient to this order I'm passing down to you, because this is the right order.
Yep.
It says, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Yahweh Shai, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Yahweh Shai is the Most High Yahweh. So the Most High Yahweh Shai, men or the church, especially the men of the church, and then the women of the church, so to speak, the families. Just like you expect your woman to be subservient unto you, we have to be subservient unto Yahweh Shai, up to Yahweh.
Yeah, and what did Sarah call Abraham? She Lord. A Lord is a master. You're your wife's master, man.
That's right.
You're a Lord over her, so you rule over her, you dominate her, and you give her instructions or orders, and she keeps it.
That's right.
So that's the same way we are with Yahweh Shai. All right, we're the bride, and he's the bridegroom. So he laid the order down. We are to follow that. All right, he's our Lord, he's our master. Right. Okay, and then Yahweh Shai, because he's absent, he has men in his stead that's giving us orders and giving us the doctrine, the teachings, and breaking down the prophecies, which that's the testimony of Yahweh Shai anyway, which is the spirit of prophecy. So they're giving you all this knowledge through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Right. So you got to be, you being a humble servant, you coming into the truth, you got to be subservient to that. You got to basically have no question in your mind that this is coming all the way from the spirit realm through those top men down to you. All right? And that takes faith to actually see that, man.
Hey, faith come by hearing, right?
Hearing the word.
So that's why we can not question the apostles, because we'll go back and do the research that they tell us to do. And we'll see it. So when they bring that up, okay, that's already like, I remember reading about that. I know about that. So you guys that don't believe or have low faith, it's because you're not reading. You're not getting understanding of these scriptures.
Yep.
You're not studying enough. You're not praying enough. You're not fasting enough. And we're going to need these, man. It may come to a point of an unwilling fast to get you on a spiritual level. We might have to go through that. So prepare your body and your mind and your spirit for that now. Because those things are going to be important to where you can draw right into the spirit of what the word says. Because when do we slow down when we're not sure what it says? But if we know what the word says, then we can keep it moving. We can kind of roughly just speak about it like they did in the ancient world. And we can kind of quote verbatim.
Yeah, we always had this custom among ourselves of being subservient.
Yeah.
It was like it's like a selfless thing where you esteem somebody over you, and in a lot of situations you try to put whoever it is over you. You make sure they're first. You make sure they're good first, and then you're secondary.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're subordinate. So, like for instance, when a woman serves her husband her dinner, she don't just cook the food and then she be the first one to make her a plate. She makes sure her husband get the plate first.
Yeah,
make sure everybody in the household, and if the husband like, my brother's is lodging in, can you feed him too? Well, she ain't gonna eat before the brother. She gonna make sure she served the husband and her brother-in-law.
Hey,
you know,
but she should be mindful. Use wisdom. She should be, mindful that she still needs to eat too.
Yeah.
But give us the portions that divide it righteously.
Yeah.
But we need to eat.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna say this. If the husband, he might have it to where I want you to fix the plate and I want you to give it to my brother first. Serve him before you serve me. Mm-hmm. Why? Because he's trying, even though he's the head of the household, but he still wants to be a servant to his brother.
Yeah. And whatever service you have is now a servant.
That's why the scriptures say
it's our custom.
That's our custom. Basically, he that is the highest among you, roughly paraphrasing. Yeah,
there's a few.
He's supposed to submit himself. Yeah. Like basically he's supposed to serve you.
Hey, because as we're servants, man. Yeah. What's the word? It means it's not apostle. It's another word that means servant. Basically, when you're the head of these camps, when you're the I don't want to say priest, but when you're the head of these camps, you become a servant. There's a few of them. There's one in Sirach. There's one you know one is
Matthew, that 23, and I'm gonna start at 10. It says, "Neither be ye called masters, for one is your master, even Mashiach. But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant."
Shall be your servant. Why? Because they're gonna administer and serve you this understanding.
Yep.
And then usually you'll have another level of understanding of the big picture of the situation. Hey, he came to my house. He just came from a 2-mile hike to get over here. I've been in the house chilling. Yeah, let this man eat. Feed him first. I don't want to sit up here and get all full. Let this man eat. I don't know. Hey, where you going? Where you going after this? Another 5 miles to the other brother house? Oh, okay. And you on foot or on a bike or walking or whatever? Okay, bro. Here, eat a little extra. Give him another portion and give him some water for his journey.
Yeah.
Let's set him up to be successful of what else he's going to do. Because what is he going to do? The will of Yahweh Shem Shai.
See, because the apostles, they served Yahweh Shai, but when Yahweh Shai was among them, he served them. He showed humility towards them. Yeah. He washed their feet. He fed them, the bread and the fish sandwiches or whatever. He was being an example.
Don't be an asshole, man. We joke when we say fish sandwich.
Yeah.
But for real, it kind of was like it was bread and fish. So come on, calm down. Niggas be stupid right now. Don't get simple right here.
Yeah, man.
But I don't mean to break the spirit of what you're saying.
No, that's man. So that was just an example. He served the men that were under him.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And the apostles of Great Millstone, they serve us.
Yeah. Apostle, man, you can say all you want. I see these scoffers online saying Apostle Ramla going to collect money. This man spent his own money, which he shouldn't have to. He spends his own money. We tell
them, like, no, we got it. We volunteer to take care of these men. It's not because these men are going around trying to take money from brothers. Brothers, we out of the kindness of our heart, cheerfully give to the men who sown unto us spiritual things, man.
That's right.
That's what that's all about, man.
Right.
If y'all want to take it that way, y'all take it that way.
But we understand. You'll know us by the love we have for one another, and we damn near fight over pain.
Yeah.
Like For real, that's the level of it. It's not that, you know, if a brother don't got it, then hey, he can't fight
Yeah.
to pay. You know, it's all right. But that's never an issue.